Take, for example, many associate and connect in with the bear, with the jaguar, with grandmother turtle, with the whales. Now, many of these animals will have been brought to Earth from other planetary locations, and their energy shared here on Earth. But because they do not have the interference of, we call it the monkey mind or the 3D brain, as many will call it, even though many are within higher dimensions than the third dimension. Since many decades ago, these energies have been changing here on the Earth plane, so that you'll see that those who are open to it, who are searchers, the seekers, the knowledge seekers, are connecting in with their spirit animal guides. They are working with the guides, and we are working with the animals. And in some instances, directly with the individual who may be on their shamanic journey.
Now, Karen Ashby is a channeler, a friend of mine, and she has channeled elephants, matriarchs in elephant herds.
Yes.
And she's had several conversations, I believe. Are you kind of intervening with, say, an elephant matriarch to guide her in some ways?
We would work with the collective of the elephants,
Okay.
more so than an individual elephant. There is more like-mindedness within the collective of the animal world over the human animal world.
Why is that? Humans have more imagination or something else operating for them?
Because the humans come in with the ego. The animals do not come in with the ego.
Okay. So they feel unity, not separation. Would that be right?
Correct. And this is where we're trying to assist humankind with working toward unity. Although you would say back in the day, let's talk about perhaps we can use the example of the Aztecs as they were learning. Although they did have access to more advanced information, as some of the galactic energies were coming in, working more directly with the shamans at that time, they still had the strong development of ego and had not learned to overcome ego, and therefore power was something that was being sought strongly and being developed within their fear of survival, fear of territory, fear of protecting their loved ones, and what they were, where they were at the time, as they would move their tribes to work with the earth in its changes.
Is Wendy all right here?
Oh yes, she just needs to breathe in our energy to stay connected into the larger collective of who we are.
You had mentioned earlier that you were involved with humanity back at its beginning. And I don't have a clear picture of what humanity was like back at its beginning, or even when that might have been in terms of our Earth years.
Hmm.
Do you mind shedding a little light on that?
You may have referred to the early humans as Sasquatch
Oh,
or the Yeti
hmm,
in its various forms. And although these beings are still connected in with the Earth in its various locations, they still have a higher dimensionality aspect to themselves, that they have the capability to be unobserved from the typical, we'll refer back to it as the 3D plane,
hmm.
or humans being in the mindset of, oh, did I see that? I'm not sure. Was that something? I'm not sure. What did I see? I'm not sure. Because
Yeah.
they're not connecting in with their higher selves and their ability to tap into the universal information that is out there and available to them. But even within your own awareness, that there are many who are channeling today versus 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Mhm.
Much of that is because it is time for the earth during its, shall we put in quotes, ascension process,
Mhm.
that these higher fields are reaching humankind, the seekers, the knowledge seekers, more readily than they were able to in the past. Also, within the teachings of those who are becoming educated with the amount of material that are available to either read or listen to under some of the social media platforms that many are
Mhm.
exposed to.
When did these first humans appear on Earth in terms of our years and the way we count them?
This would be a difficult number to put into a numerical process, primarily because the Earth has come and gone multiple times.
Oh,
You will have been aware of what many would call the flood.
yes.
That will not have been the first time that this planetary experience has been, how shall we say, washed out, unsuccessful,
Mhm.
where those who would see its success saw the error of the way, of the direction of humankind, and said,
Hmm.
let's start over. This did not work. It would be similar to a potter working with its lump of clay, putting it together into a mold, putting it into a pot while it's still in its clay form. And as they see that it's lopsided and disfigured, say, this is not what I planned. Squash it down on its spinning wheel and start over.
Now, who made that decision?
It was not one individual.
Mhm.
This was councils, often led by creator,
Mhm.
prime creator.
Did Mother Gaia have much say in this?
Her acceptance and her own desire to grow, expand, and experience agreed.
Mhm. Yeah. Is there anything else that you think humans should know about you that I haven't asked about?
Yes, there is much to be learned from the elders. There are many today that are working with plant medicine,
Mhm.
and we like this form of connection because within the altered state of the mind, the human is able to connect in with the spirit and the heart and the love. They step away from judging themselves and others where the ego resides. If one is going to approach plant medicine journey, we of course ask that the experimentation be done safely.
Mhm.
Although we do not mind that there are those who join us in the spirit world if they make poor choices. And we say poor choices based on the fact that there are many that are left behind, shall we say, that would mourn or be through the field of fear
Yes.
and tapping into sadness versus what could be the joy of working with plant medicine. It must be done safely. But even with that being said, there is the other side of the coin that there are those who make the decision to experience the contract of their life and how they want to come and how they want to go.
Mhm.
There are some who have made that decision as to how they want to go.
Yes. Now, that decision is made by, is it the soul or the conscious
The
mind of the human?
soul makes
Mhm.
its decision prior to coming into the body.
Mhm.
They are working with their own counsel guides. The soul coming in and working with others for each unique human to have its own energetic signature. This is why there are those who want to understand and know and tap into their past lives as all is all at once.
Yeah, certainly the idea of healing seems to be taken over by the pharmaceutical companies these days. But are you saying there's kind of a comeback that more humans are beginning to gravitate towards more natural remedies and plant-based remedies?
Yes, there are many who are, including this channel, being drawn to plant medicine or herbal medicine. Many are going back to what we would say organic choices, making their purchases based on the knowledge that many organizations or companies are putting chemicals into their medicines or into the lotions and potions, as you may think of as what they use for filling themselves, taking care of themselves for different things, whether it's something topical to remove the itch or something ingested to settle the stomach for very basic thoughts of how medicine may be used. Picking up this material, learning and understanding, and some doing what one would call homesteading, which would be like going back to the 1700s of farm life, so to say,
Mhm.
growing their own plants and creating their own medicines. many are feeling this calling because of the work that we do,